what's next for Jake Paul, as we would
Okay.
often talk about.
I mean, who? Roy Jones? I don't know.
Like, yo, I'm at the point with Jake Paul, and I feel like other people are getting to this point. Jake Paul, like, this was all right, good. We're all hoodwinked, bamboozled, all these different things. We were all gonna watch it, right? And it's like we're at the Floyd Mayweather point where people are just watching this predominantly to see him get his ass beat, to see him lose. But Tommy Fury beat him, and it wasn't like enough because I don't think people want to rally behind Tommy Fury in that kind of way. Ryan Hong drops an interesting one here. Look at this fight. What do you think of this?
I'd put my money on Tony, because Tony ain't throwing away a fight.
I want to see Jake Paul fight against somebody active, because here's the thing. You go through the resume. We're going to do this right now.
Let's go through the cruiserweight division.
Is
he even ranked yet?
You pull up the cruiserweight division. I'll go through his resume real quick because I'll toss it to you so we can talk about like the serious actually boxing potential ramifications here. So there's a streamer, there's Nate Robinson, and then you got the MMA fights. You got Ben Askren, who notoriously Ben Askren in MMA was seen as one of the worst strikers in MMA. So no, he was not going to translate to boxing. Tyron Woodley, wrestler, had power, but like wrestler, not really a boxer at all.
Anderson Nate Robinson, a basketball player that
Nate
could
Robinson,
dunk.
Basketball player who, like, maybe he can fight, but not box. Two different things. And again, hopefully, like, he gets his kidney situation taken care of, because we both love Nate Robinson. Seriously. Anderson Silva.
Yo, I have a story about Nate Robinson actually that I'll tell after.
I have one too, actually.
Was it the one where he gave you an autograph?
Yes.
You told it already.
I did? Okay.
This is why we work together, because I remember these things about him.
Anderson Silva was, I think, the legitimately best competition he's had. And honestly, that fight was closer than it was scored. I felt like Tommy Fury beat him. Nate Diaz, blown up. Fucking, like, he should not be fighting at 185. Andre August, inactive boxer, padded resume. Ryan Borden, inactive boxer, padded resume. Mike Perry, replacement, who, again, not somebody who's a boxer either. He's good at BKFC and he's good at like boxing in MMA, but not like boxing. Like, these are all sort of skewed victories. Now, if you go through a lot of people's resume, there are going to be, guys who are inactive, guys who have bad records, or whatever the case may be. But now we're at the point with Jake Paul where it's like, all right, 11-1, 7 knockouts. Let's go. Like, let's actually get a real fight going. But I don't think he's going to do that next. I think they're going to figure out another creative way to, maybe it's somebody who's retired, but not as old as Mike Tyson. You know what I mean?
I mean, we got to get to these comments because our guy, Jack, by the way, thank you for joining the show, Jack, is killing it right now.
Yes.
El Gallo of Puerto Rico is pretty much is what he's saying.
Puerto Rico. He's laughing about it.
I know. Look, this one too. Next, Udonis Haslam versus Jake El Gallo.
That's right. See, it'll be like that. Like,
I would not play with Udonis. You know what I mean? Like, we know Udonis Haslam is tough. Let's make that fight happen. Let's get to the cruiserweight division.
I would love. You know what? I think Damian Lillard would beat Jake Paul.
Well, yeah, Dame could actually box. I gotta go. He's from East Oakland.
I would like, give me that. Damian Lillard can't do that.
That's not gonna happen. He's in the NBA.
But Damian Lillard, like, in the summer, you know what I mean? Like, if you just like Damian Lillard versus Jake Paul, that's what I want.
By the way,
give me a celebrity that could box.
I think Udonis Haslam could give him some problems.
Jesus really thinks it's gonna be Canelo Alvarez.
Canelo would not sign a contract for that, and Canelo would not take him easy. I
would like Jake Paul too.
Me too, because I think he'd be in some serious danger.
That fight will last as long as Canelo Alvarez wants. I think that's what people want. But I don't know how satisfying that would be if you're like a Jake Paul hater, because I think what you actually want is not for Canelo Alvarez to beat the shit out of him. You want somebody who's like a lower tier, so that you could like a Tommy. Like, he lost to Tommy Fury. What's Canelo Alvarez going to do to him? You know what I mean?
He's going to destroy him. That's a dangerous fight. That's a dangerous fight. Now, let me tell you the story about Nate Robinson, because it has to tie in with a little bit with Jake Paul. So I was working for a pretty known sports book, and we had put out like these NFL previews of the season. And I did the Steelers, and which, by the way, I was like one off. I said they'd go. I said they would have 10 wins, and they ended up having 9 wins. So whatever. So Nate Robinson hits up on the comments and he's like, "What is this girl smoking? The Steelers aren't going to win 10 games." And then I left a comment and I said, "What were you smoking when Jake Paul knocked you out?" He never responded. But that was my interaction with Nate Robinson. Just a little short story there, just before we get into the cruiserweight division, because Bryan, there's some names on here that I don't think he'll ever fight. Bodou Jack.
He's not fighting Bodou Jack.
Gilberto Ramirez.
He's not fighting Gilberto Ramirez.
Opataya.
No, we're aiming way too high.
I know, but Callum Johnson?
No, there's not a single person here that you're going to name that he's,
Shaq Massey.
Honestly, like, fight at heavyweight. Like,
is that not more dangerous? Who is he gonna fight? Luis Ortiz? Luis Ortiz got power. I don't think he wants to go into the ring with him.
Like, that's the thing. Like, all of these type of people, they're gonna be Tyrone the Great drops a comment, but these type of people, they're gonna just beat his ass.
And he donated to the show. If you donate to the show, we put your comment up right away all the time. Thank you, Tyrone, because he always donates to the post-fight show. Bryan, I'll let you read it.
I'm just happy he didn't KO Mike. If he would have done that, I would have been in the gym the next day getting ready to fight Jake Paul. I'm not Jake Paul's weight class, so ain't much I can do from here.
No. I think Jake Paul showed him respect, though. Like, he could have went at Mike. He gave him props at the end, and he gave a good post-fight speech, which I'm always down for. I don't hate Jake Paul anymore. When he first started out doing this, I couldn't stand him, but like, I've kind of grown to appreciate what he's done. And I think this was one of those things where I'm like, okay, like he didn't knock out Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? Like, he could have, and he showed him a lot of respect. So I'm not hating on Jake Paul anymore.
I mean, to me, it's not necessarily about that. It's just I want to see what the actual next move is. And I know a lot of people are saying like they're not going to buy it, they're not going to pay for it, whatever. But I think now I'll say this: there was genuinely less interest when he was fighting Ryan Borland, he was fighting Andre August, like actual pro boxers, quote unquote, but not people of any repute, not people with any resume. Like, so I think that's why they went back to the former MMA celebrity route.